Let's talk playoff matches.
Are you nervous?
Uh,
Are you sweating over there as like a 13-point favorite?
I'm always nervous. You know that.
You just beat that team
Uh,
by you just beat Pittsburgh by like 30.
I know that's you beat them by 30. And next time they come back, they beat you because you just think you got it. So I'm always nervous. You know that. I think you knew the answer to that before you asked me. So we could start with the Chiefs. I'm
That's
always nervous. So I, this is me. This is me as me. I am Chiefs fan. I just think sometimes I just don't know what they're doing. I'm
the
so
it's
confused.
only on offense. The defense actually, they were bad against the Chargers. They've been pretty good down the stretch since they fixed the struggle. You can't complain about the defense. I'm totally with you. It's their offense. You and me could score 40 points with this offense. And Eric Bieniemy, Andy Reid. This is why I don't want Eric Bieniemy as a head coach. There's something wrong with them in the play
No,
calling design situation.
no, you know what? I don't know. I'm not as mad about. I just think they get. Actually, I'm more worried about the defense, not the offense. To be honest, lately, I think the offense will wake up, and I think Mahomes is like, he's just not like we got so like
Spoiled.
yeah, so spoiled and wild with like the big plays and stuff like that, and I think now he's just like
Well, he's been
he's just
great. Yeah. Dink and
he's just
dunk.
taking what they give him. Dink and
Yes.
dunk, taking what they're getting, and I think people are taking away the Hill factor, and he can't really hit Hill like he used to, and I think that's what we're used to, so that's why we're like, oh, what's going on? Not it took me a while to figure that out too, but to be honest, they moved the ball pretty well still, in my opinion. I just like they just need that other guy to really step up because like need the Mecole to step up, the Byron Pringle or Demarcus Robinson, like whoever it's going to be, because Josh
Well,
Gordon is obviously said he's just not going to do it.
they didn't look good against Denver, I
They did
thought.
not.
On
They did not look
offense.
good. No, they did. And that's the thing is that they play only one half, and that's what I need to get. And I don't know. I think it's the play calling because I think Andy Reid
That's what I'm
or
with.
so.
That's
No,
what I'm
no, I
with.
know what
It's
you're
the play
saying it, but
calling.
I think it comes from the head man. I don't think he stays aggressive enough. I
I
think he just needs to
They get a little
stay aggressive
cute.
the whole game.
They get very cute too with some
They
stuff.
do,
They try and do
yeah.
some stuff that is very cute. That
But
you
once it works, so we're like, oh, that's great. It's just everyone does cute stuff, and when it doesn't work, people hate it. When it works, they
you
like
can
don't bat an
you
eye.
can get too cute though in certain situations, especially with your offense. Like you said, like they fixed it with that winning streak, and Pat was okay. Just we're gonna dink and dunk. We're gonna
Yeah, and I
uh,
and I think they got like the worst of the worst. Then they started off. They like couldn't start off any worse, anything like that.
yeah.
I think the offense is going to be there. I think Kelsey's going to be there. Hill's going to be there. Hill's going to do Hill things. They're going to come up big. I think they do need to get Clyde back. It is so weird that it's like this in that winning streak. They kind of transformed a little bit. It seemed like they can't run the ball without Clyde, even though I think Darrell Williams is like a pretty good back.
Yeah.
But they seem like they run the ball way better with Clyde, and it's really weird because Clyde was like the downfall of their whole offense. They can't run the ball like with Clyde, like why they draft this guy, and now they
Yeah,
kind of need him to
we
run
can
the
only
ball.
run the ball with Clyde.
Yeah, and it's so weird that just like took a whole 360. So I'm really confused about that. But all in all, I think they should take care of business with Pittsburgh. I'll be nervous still, because the defense, in my opinion, they just like the last couple of games. Like also the 3rd and 27 versus the Bengals, I think that's totally the defense coordinator. I don't understand why he's blitzing. He can explain to me like as much as he wants. I just don't think. No one blitzes there.
They were
No one.
everyone was like, "Why are you playing single high? Man up with Jamar Chase. You
I
know
just
where
yeah.
they're going."
You know where they're going, and then like so I've heard Jonathan Vilma talk on like Ryan Seal's podcast about times when Steve Spagnuolo was in New
In New York.
Orleans and he's their
Yeah.
defense coordinator. He did the same thing. He left like cornerback 1-on-ones. Like he got a good cornerback. He said he left a 1-on-1, and then like it took him like 2 times for Dez Bryant to score on his cornerback for him to be like, okay, we're changing it. And I just don't know like. And obviously, I'm not an NFL head coach, so obviously I don't know as much. But like at some point, when the guy has like 200 yards, we just gotta like not let him catch the
Yeah.
ball anymore.
Yeah,
Like
just double him. You can
double cover it.
I actually am a big fan of blitzing on 3rd and 27 because you don't have enough time to get to a 27-yard route. The only thing that can beat you is just a go. Like you just throw it
Yeah.
up and go get it.
Like
So if you cheat
let's
the
not leave
safety,
him 1-on-1.
Yeah, if you cheat a safety over Jamar Chase, because that's the first place he's going to look. He ain't looking for T. And if he goes to T. Higgins, good on him. You know what? That's the play there. Because if you give him time, they're going to get open. Like on a third. It's a double-edged sword. Like if you give him time to sit in a pocket, a receiver like that, Cincinnati's too talented at receiver. Somebody will get open. Joe Burrow's too good. He'll find somebody and bang it for 25, and maybe they go for it, or maybe the guy runs for 2 yards and picks up the first. So I do. It was just a bad call in a bad spot. But Cincinnati tried to give you the game. They tried really hard to give you the game.
They did. I would say they got lucky. Got very lucky. Obviously the holding and all that stuff down the goal line, but they got super lucky and all that stuff. But I'm not as worried about that. I think they definitely have their woes, but I do think they have Tennessee doesn't scare me, to be honest with you.
Really?
I mean they do. You're getting Derrick Henry back, and I don't know what Julio Jones are going to get and Antonio Brown.
AJ Brown's they're back. So
AJ Brown.
I saw a couple stats. They fixed their run game. Let's be honest, their run game was terrible.
Yeah.
When Henry, Brown, and Julio are on the field together, they're averaging 7 yards a play. It's the best in football, anybody. The next closest is like 6 yards a play, and I forget what team was averaging 6 yards a play. I agree. You shouldn't be worried about Tennessee. If I'm Tennessee, the only team I'm worried about is Kansas City in the AFC. If I'm brutally honest, maybe Cincy. I agree with you. Maybe Cincy, but Buffalo does scare me because Josh Allen is can be just as scary as playing Mahomes. I feel like it's kind of scary playing Josh Allen at times too, because he I go back like Mahomes, he can either win you a game or he could absolutely lose you a game, but the way he plays, and Josh Allen can carry his team, run all over across the yard, throw the ball, and do all these great things, and you could be in trouble, or he could fumble the ball, throw interceptions. It's sometimes he's too much of a superhero, but it's kind of scary because that Buffalo team is pretty good. I won't get me wrong, but I do think they have their hands full versus New England, and it's the third time they playing. But I think just Bill might get the better end of them. I don't know. It's a bad matchup just because it's Belichick. He kind of owns Josh Allen, but they looked really good in the last matchup in New England. They're playing in Buffalo this time, and it's not going to be 100-mile-an-hour winds where you can only throw the ball 3 times. Stephon Diggs, Dawson Knox got to catch the goddamn football. I like that they're running the ball actually now with Singletary.
The running ball has screwed me over 2 times in fantasy. It hurt me big time. Me and Ferrari big time in fantasy in our championship league. Because Singletary out of nowhere had 2 touchdowns. I was like, this dude is. I'm pretty sure he hadn't had 2 touchdowns all year, and all of a sudden he has 2 touchdowns.
I'm mad. I mean, I was in a little bit of running back predicament, and I cut him because they weren't giving him the ball at all. But yeah, they're and Gabriel Davis is a big ad that they found. I'm not worried.
Sanders, they got guys.
They're so inconsistent on offense. So
that's exactly what it is.
Allen has not looked that good, honestly.
You don't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. But there's bits and pieces, because there's games he's looked really good. Even that loss to Tampa Bay, he came back and looked really good.
He was horrible in the first half, though.
Yeah.
He was great in the second half and then was horrible in the first half.
But yeah, it goes right into what you're saying about being inconsistent. But if you do get a consistent Josh Allen,
always scary.
That was a big if. It's super scary.
That's why if I'm Tennessee, the only team I'm really afraid of is maybe Cincinnati, definitely Kansas City, because the only weak part of Tennessee is their quarterback. Tannehill is the weak part of that team. They play really good defense. They stop the run. They can run the football with anybody. It don't matter who they got back there. And let's just say you get 100. You say you get a 90% Derrick Henry who's got fresh legs. That's frightening. That is absolutely petrifying. But your you could just get Mahomes in a game that you're totally dominating. You're the better team, and Mahomes versus Tannehill, and Mahomes you. You want to play New England?
Scared me at Tennessee. You really did.
You're not.
They're number 1 team for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, they're afraid. They were talking about New England. I'm like, yeah, you got housed by New England when you guys didn't know how to run the ball without Derrick Henry. They know how to run the ball with Foreman. They've been running the ball very well with Foreman down the stretch here. And AJ Brown is a huge get back. Obviously, people have to respect him. They're afraid of him.
Oh yeah.
I'm not afraid of Buffalo if I'm Tennessee. Cincinnati's the team you're afraid of because you get So let's just say it's chalk this week in the AFC. I think it's fair to say we're probably going to get chalk in the AFC. Maybe Vegas is the team of destiny because, good God, like they just, no matter what, they found themselves here today. So Tennessee's probably going to get Cincy. I'd be a little worried about Cincy, but not really, just because of the inexperience. And then you're going to get Buffalo and Kansas City. It's gonna. I have Kansas City beating Tennessee to go to the Super Bowl again.
Yeah, I don't want to look too far ahead, but
I know you
Kansas City's D line definitely got to show up throughout the playoffs. Because that's what helps that back. That back end is just like it's pretty average. It's below average, honestly. When they get out, it's not very good.
Mike Hughes is saving y'all season. I saw 15th ranked cornerback in PFF over there, and you got rid of the worst corner in football and Brashad Breeland for him. So.
Yeah, I mean, the guys back there are like. I know no one really has dudes back there. I've looked. It's like they do. I should say that.
New England.
NFL players.
New England's got
dudes back there, but like everyone has like either they're average Joes. I guess I feel like cornerback position is like so hard to find a couple of elite guys,
especially if somebody's banged up. If somebody's banged up. On top of it.
Someone's banged. Yeah, on top of that. So I definitely think the D line, which I think Melvin Gordon for a 6th round pick is the best thing that the Chiefs have done in a long time since drafting Patrick Mahomes.
I think everybody forgot Melvin Ingram was in the NFL until he forced that fumble. I think everyone I forgot I was like, he's in Kansas City? Like, what?
No, he's helped Frank Clark out so much, and I just it's taking a load off Chris Jones and Frank Clark because he'll get after the passer. I mean, then no one's he's not drawing double teams or anything like that, but they just they're not, shading one way or the other, and he could still get a passer here and there.
It also really helps that Chris Jones has played up to that contract in the middle. He's been getting after the pass, and he was out, right? He had COVID
He had COVID, and he was banged up. So, the Chiefs are going in pretty healthy. Almost everybody.
Reek's the only they said his heel, but he practiced today. I saw. So
I don't know why. I was telling my dad, Dad, Reek got up for that ball. He's like, I was like, yeah, that's pretty impressive. And I was like, my dad was like, I don't know why he's doing that. But he said, Pat don't throw no balls like that. I said, that's a good point.
Nick Wright said they should rest him because the playoffs don't start until 10 days, so they don't need him. The playoffs don't actually start until 10 days from now.
Nick Wright don't. No, I'm not buying that.
Oh, that Pittsburgh team is so bad, man. They could barely beat. They had no business even beating Baltimore.
I think Ben said they were bad today. He privately came out and said, "We don't deserve to be here, but we're trying to go out and have fun."
Yeah, because Brandon Staley had to be I'm an analytics nerd here. I'm going to take a timeout when the Raiders were literally going to take the tie. Everyone in Vegas has said they're going to take the tie. Let them.
Let's go ahead and get in there because I don't think they truly why they're in shotgun. I think he was trying to stop them on 3rd down.
Well,
so they punt the ball on 4th down. So they do have a tie. I think he was going for the tie. I think he wanted the right people out there.
They said he wanted to fix the D line. He called it a little early. If the play clock's at 1, take the timeout. So it's okay. It's we got to get some shit figured. We're confused because Carr was calling shifting the protection. I agree. Could have been trying to hard count. But still, first of all, you got gashed on 3rd down after the timeout, which is embarrassing. What they're doing, where you're going. Stop it, And they ran it right up the middle. But he took the timeout too early. There was 5-6 seconds left. They said it fucked with Oakland's head. Or Vegas. It definitely fucked with everybody in Vegas's head. You stop them and you let them make a decision. So say they kind of take a knee, they run, you let it go, and if they kick because I thought Vegas was just going to try and kick the field goal from 55 or whatever and say, fuck it, if we win, we win. It's a bad call. Just let them go. You're not – because you broke the trust. You know what the timeout signaled is if you stop us, you're taking another timeout and forcing us to punt or try and kick the field goal. Because if we try and
beat us.
If you kick the field goal and we miss, you're going to try and then beat us with no time left. You're going to try and beat us. He broke the trust cycle, and Brandon Staley's kind of been that guy. He's like, I'm going to go for it on my own 12-yard line or whatever stupid shit they did. And, you end up going to overtime. He has been a disaster, I think, as a head coach. I mean, I shouldn't say it. He hasn't been very good. That team should not have missed the playoffs this year.
No, it's kind of sad that we miss Justin Herbert in the playoffs because he has been very good, and I was excited to watch that. the end of that game, Jesus, that was so good. It also scared me. I was like, this dude's in my division.
Oh yeah, you're
So
about you're about to see we're about to see in division Brady Manning for a good while there.
yeah,
I
yeah,
told you.
that was
Speaking of that's so Herbert's why Brian Flores lost his job apparently. All that shit's coming out.
Herbert is.
Yes, Flores wanted Herbert, and everybody else in Miami wanted Tua, and Flores has been a actual scumbag to Tua since he's got there, and he brings it up apparently. Like all these stories are coming out now that he got fired, that he was fighting with the GM about this. Like, look what this guy can do. Look what Herbert's doing. I can't do this shit with Tua. We'd be in the Super Bowl. Apparently, he got like Tua came in like shredded or bulked up, like he looked good or something. And Flores was the one that led the charge to get him tested like 3 times to try and get him to pop for something. And then they got in like a verbal altercation in the locker room one game, and Tua's like, you can't fucking treat people like this. And so apparently like Flores is a huge piece of shit, kind of like what's coming out with Mike Zimmer. Like he's just like, you can't coach in today's NFL like you used to. Yes, so all this,
players came out and said that, or
yes,
just the GM?
no, the GM hasn't said anything. It's been reports that have been leaking. You know, if they're leaking now. They didn't leak before, so they have a lot of credibility when they start leaking. The coach is gone. Shit can start being said by people. Like apparently, it was super toxic in Miami in the locker room with players, especially particularly Tua, because he doesn't think Tua is very good, and he blamed Tua for losing.
I mean, Tua ain't been great, but he ain't been horrible.
His defense was terrible to start the season. That's on him.
Yeah, that is on him.
They spent $100 million on that defense, so
he'll still get a head coaching job because I think he's a pretty good head coach still.
Yeah, where he's gonna Chicago is the
but that ain't gonna help him out. I've seen some of these franchises are just doomed to be doomed. They're so far bad. Like there's no correcting that. I think.
I told you. Well, you say that, but Detroit showed real promise this year.
That's true. Detroit. I guess that's true. I should take that back. Because they are way better than what their record shows, but they shouldn't have. I'm glad they didn't win the games they did, the close ones, because they need that high draft pick, and they need to be up there as draft capital still.
They said so. If Detroit was Vegas, because Vegas went 6-0 and once what games decided on the last play of the game or an overtime or some shit like that. Detroit would be in the playoffs right now if they won those games. If they won all those if they had won every game on the last, drive or whatever, they would be in the playoffs. So the NFL is a fickle mistress. Everyone loves Dan Campbell. I mean, I know Colin and everybody were giving him a lot of shit. They played super hard for him. Like no freebies playing Detroit this year or probably ever. They played hard. Yeah. Ask Arizona.
Especially when he took over his play caller. That's crazy. They said he's never called plays before.
And he's drawn up like his trick plays have been fantastic. Some of the best trick plays I've ever seen.
To me, the Packers need to work on that because he exposed them big time because they still had their first team defense in when he was exposing them.
I mean, yeah, they were straight up leading. That was their whole first team out there for the first half, and they were beating them at halftime. Now, say what you want to the rest of the game, but still, yes, they love the trick. That's what you like though, because Campbell's kind of he's a football guy. Sometimes football guys just think, this might work. Like, let's run a double reverse pass back to somebody sneaking out, or flea flicker reverse some shit.
Yeah, I like the way that they're trajected. I think they deserve to be. I shouldn't say deserve to be good, but it'd be nice to see some of these teams who haven't been good in the past to be good again. Like I'd love for one of those New York teams to figure it out. I know it seems so long ago, but the Giants won in
they won.
I guess it's
2011. It's been 10. It's been over 10 years.
Over 10 years, but. Yeah, I'd love to see one of the New York teams be good. And Zach Wilson, maybe not as bad as we think.
Salah's got to fix that defense. That was the worst defense in football, which is very concerning for a defensive head coach to have a defense that's the worst in everything. Yeah. Zach Wilson was him and Rodgers were the only two guys that didn't throw a pick the last 8 games, I think they said. Played. So Zach Wilson looked fine. I like Michael Carter. Michael Carter's a good solid back for them. They got to work on the offensive line a little bit. It's not.
Johnson's pretty good.
They got something there. They got to fix the defense, completely fix the defense.
They got the picks to do it.
They got 2 top 10 picks. So do the Giants, which is hilarious. 4 picks in the top 10 for the New York teams. That's always interesting to see. I don't know. I was glad, like you say, Cleveland. The Cleveland fan, they blew their load. They got their one. Woo, we won a playoff game. We're gonna go back to being terrible again. Just same old Browns.
Same old. Okay, let's hop over NFC playoffs. The first one looks like it's
this is sexy. NFC playoffs.
Tampa.
Tampa,
Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's also it's Sunday is the first 2 games of the NFC games. I was really surprised the Chiefs Steelers wasn't the Monday night game. I thought for sure that would be the Monday night game, and it would.
Why, you think it's a throwaway game or what?
Yeah, kind of. And it would be all well. It's not a throwaway game it's a throwaway game, but Chiefs Steelers are big ratings. Like the Steelers have such a big national brand; they're a big ratings draw, and so is Kansas City with Mahomes. So that's what I figured. I mean, it's a primetime. That Sunday night spot's a big spot. I figured I figured that would be the Cowboys-Niners game, but I don't know who gets. It's what network is to pick where or whatever. So NFC Eagles-Buccaneers. There's 0 chance the Eagles are beating the Buccaneers. 0, none, -0.
The Buccaneers, they seem a little bit pedestrian now that they don't have Godwin, Brown. They're getting Fournette back.
They're getting Fournette. Gio Bernard's back. That's a big one.
Okay, that is a big
pass catching running back. Very smart, Brady's guy. And they're getting Shaq Barrett back. Shaq Barrett's back.
Shaq Barrett. Okay, cool. That's good. Okay, so they'll be back and rolling.
And they're at home. The Tampa Bay's been great at home. Mike Evans is a dog. That man is a dog out there. Gronk is healthy. They got it. I mean, they looked good. I know it was Carolina, but I like them. Niners Cowboys game. We're gonna put a pin on that. That's the best game by a lot. Rams Cardinals Monday night. I don't see the Cardinals beating the Rams. Do you?
This is a bad situation for me because I like both coaches and one will have to lose. This is gonna cut deep.
We've had some interesting Cardinals discussions the last few weeks. You and I.
Yeah, we have. Gosh, but this would be big if Cliff won.
Big if Cliff wins this game. This is huge for Cliff.
I'd be sad for McVay though, and because I want McVay to win.
How about Stafford? Stafford's never won a playoff game. He's 0-2 in playoff games, and if they lose, it's because of Stafford. Let's be honest here.
This is the worst. This could be a worst matchup because both people, everyone on both teams, need to win. JJ Watt. I mean, he's won playoff games, but go down the line, Arizona Cliff, Murray. I see Murray won the playoff game. I'm sure AJ Green came there to win the playoff game. All this other stuff, people whatever make a run in the playoffs, and then you got the Rams. They went all in for the playoffs.
They went all in to win the Super Bowl. The Rams. They did not.
I mean, they went all in for Super Bowl, but they got to take it step by step. And you got Stafford, OBJ, Von Miller. They pulled Eric Weddle out of retirement. Sean McVay, this guy who's kind of changed the NFL. People don't know if he really can coach or not. Their stats saying he can't really adjust to things. This is the worst situation for both teams. They need to play someone else so they can both have a chance to win, and it is what it is.
Well, you weren't getting that in the NFC, let's be honest, as a wild card. Maybe you could have hoped. I mean, it still would have been a disaster scenario if the Rams had just beaten the Niners anyway, because the Rams would have gotten the Eagles. Okay, the Rams would have got that win. The Cardinals would have played the Cowboys. Good luck. That's not it. But yeah, I'm on you. So
you don't think the Cardinals would have beat the Cowboys?
Again, maybe. Okay, so like I said, Cliff is plenty to blame. Cliff is a horrible coach down the stretch once people get film on him for the season. The numbers support that, and every season he's been a head coach, he is terrible down the stretch. Just bad, abysmal bad. But Kyler Murray is a cancer to that team. I like Kyler Murray as a player. We talked about this. He's a piece of shit. And he blames everybody but himself when things start going. When things start going south, he starts pouting on the bench. And
he's a bad body language guy. Horrible body language guy.
Horrible body language. He's the anti-Mahomes. When things are going terrible for the Chiefs, I know he's fired up. We're going to rally the troops. We're going to fix this. Yeah. Kyler Murray is, things aren't going right.
We're good.
Yeah, this isn't my fault. I ran for whatever. I have 200 yards rushing. This is my fault. Defense can't stop somebody. Receiver dropped the ball, even though I threw it not perfect. I threw it okay, but he should have caught it. But that's kind of what Kyler Murray's MO is. He's kind of a brat. Like, I shouldn't say, he's kind of a piece of shit. That was his MO.
That's how it's upbringing. No one's ever really told him. I don't know what people tell him, but it's upbringing. I don't want to like shit on a guy because.
But like that was his MO. Like when he came into A&M, he was a piece of shit to everybody. Like he was the original. My daddy handles my money to get me recruited kind of guy.
No, yeah, and that's like how he's brought up. So like. And I don't know at this level, and I don't know how you talk to like NFL guys, and I know because you don't some people you don't coach hard because you just don't. You got to respect them. And quarterbacks, I'm assuming it's that way. And
some quarterbacks,
I'm sure you talk to them, but I'm sure that there's like a way you talk to them because it's just like they're grown men, and you got to respect them and all that other stuff, and you want them to perform. So that's tough because I think it's like one of those things that's probably like too far gone to really like try to correct or whatever.
Somebody yell at him, knock that fucking shit off. Just stop. Stop blaming everybody else. Even if you want to be pissy about them, just don't act like that. Because I saw him yelling at in the Seattle game, I saw him yelling at his offensive lineman for something because he got sacked. Kyler, you have like one of the highest sack rates in the NFL. That's not all on your offensive line, bro. It's definitely partially on you out there. So I think the Cardinals don't win this game. I think the Rams demolish them. I think they actually... Even though it is prime time in Stafford, so maybe I should put.
So what if it's close? Like what if it's one of those situations like the Packer Arizona game where you're like Cliff gets him down to the goal line, but Kyler makes a bad play. Like, can you give my boy Cliff a pass?
It depends. I have to watch because Cliff is the coach, and Cliff. I mean, realistically, Cliff is responsible for Kyler though. He's the quarterback guy. I'm not disagreeing with you that, but like it's just one of those things like it's like a mistake from he ran an in route, it's supposed to go an out route. I did a perfect script all the way down there. Mistakes are fine. It's the added like I thought for sure the Cardinals were going to lose that game to the Cowboys when the field started tilting against them, like because the Cowboys made that push late, but they went down and ran the clock out. The Cardinals. Yeah. So I had some aspirations that they got to fix, but then the Seattle game was a dumpster fire again. They would have won the division. This game would be in Arizona instead.
I don't understand what happened there. Their defense seems like they haven't been as good as they were early in the year, and I don't know what it is. It sounds like they probably get JJ Watt back, which would definitely doesn't hurt.
Yeah,
doesn't hurt as you would say.
They did you see that interview with him today where they slipped up on the question? They asked J.J. Watt, are you going to be playing this Sunday? And he's like, I will not be playing this Sunday. And everyone's like, oh, man, they were kind of disheartened. And then Ian Rappaport was like, kind of sounded like I'm not going to be playing on Sunday because we're playing on Monday. One of those kind of like, he was being a smart ass or some shit like that, which I liked. I was like, okay, so.
Get your stuff together.
All right. What they were playing on. Cowboys-Niners. Could this be a worse draw for the Dallas Cowboys?
Honestly, this could be a really it could go either way for the Cowboys, I think, because I don't know. Like the Niners team we're gonna get is probably pretty good, but Jimmy Garoppolo could try to throw the ball at Diggs, and that could give them the possession they need.
If you throw it at Diggs, there's a 50-50 chance it's going for a big play or a big...
this is like a team who does everything the Cowboys don't do well, but I don't love their back end. San Francisco's back end though.
No, it should
the Cowboys should have elite receivers, so they could be
a high scoring game. Could be a high scoring game.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna go out and say it. Like, I'm not a Dallas fan, but this is not a great situation for my boy Dak, because if he doesn't win, then I'm not gonna hear great news. And you know how much I really like Dak, so I really need Dak to win. These playoffs right here. Let me just go down the line and just like. It's really telltale for all of the players I really like. There's a couple of games here we already discussed. Like, I'm a Chiefs fan, so that, and then like Arizona, we win that, and like Dak, I need Dak to come through here because I've been a big advocate for Dak, and if he loses this game, I have nothing to stand on. I absolutely have nothing to stand on.
It depends. He could play well. He's gonna have his hands full. The back end is not great. They have a good pass rush, the Niners, and they have a good run defense. And Dak's numbers aren't great when they can't run the ball. Things aren't good for the Cowboys offense at all when they can't run the ball. Dak is very pedestrian. It's going to be a short game, I think. The Cowboys can't stop. I don't think the Cowboys can stop the Niners run. They're going to not run at Micah Parsons is what they're going to do. They're going to take Micah Parsons and put him over there and run the opposite direction.
I actually think the opposite. I think they say, screw it. We're not scared of Micah Parsons. We heard George Kittle, and they're going to freaking try to just take Kittle and try to drive him.
Well, it depends on what the officiating looks like. These are two teams that get if we get the Dallas home calls or not. Because Kittle holds on like every play when he blocks. He is not as good of blocker as people think he is after playing him and then watching a lot of paying attention to Niners games after the Vikings played him and watched him. I'm like, oh, Kittle just holds. And yeah, he holds a shit ton, especially on linebackers. He gets up and they don't call it for whatever reason because he's got the perception as a great blocker. He'll be outside the shoulder pads, riding a guy back. It's like, that's a hold, man. At the point of attack. And that's why the Niners' run game is so good. They run right at Kittle.
Yeah.
But
I think that's their game plan. Let's watch and let's see what they do.
All right.
Because I also see they might run away from Parsons, but I also think I think Shanahan's kind of like
a hard head, like we're gonna run
like
right
a hard
at
head, like we're gonna we don't care, we're gonna run right at you. I'm not scared of you, type of I'm smarter than you, or I'm whatever type of deal. So we'll see.
Well,
I think it should be a really good one.
It should be.
I'm excited for it, and I have no dogs in the fight. I'm extremely excited. Other than it's a double-edged sword though, because I don't care for Dallas to win. If they lose, that's great. Not great. But it also hurts because I really like Dak. I wish there was a way Dak could win and Cowboys could lose. They just don't go together.
I'll tell you this much. The Green Bay Packers are rooting heavily for the Dallas Cowboys and the Arizona Cardinals. I'll tell you that much.
So, break it down. So, I don't really know the seeding because
Green Bay gets the lowest seed, obviously, is the 1 seed. I think it's safe. We can say the Buccaneers are probably going to win. They're the 2 seed, I believe.
Okay.
And then the Rams are the 4 seed, and the Cowboys are the 3 seed. If the Niners win and the Rams win, Niners are going to Green Bay. That's the last team Green Bay wants to see is the Niners. They own the Niners own Green Bay. Absolutely own them. I know they played this year.
And the Packers beat the crap out of them.
No, they beat them by 2 points on September 26th when the Niners were terrible. They beat them
really?
They beat them 30-28. Yeah.
Oh, for some reason I remember Rodgers really getting after it. Maybe that was last year.
Maybe.
And he was so adamant because they actually beat him for once.
Yeah, when they were terrible. When they were terrible last year.
Yeah, when they were terrible. Yeah, he was so excited about it. That's all I remember it. But yeah, but I don't know.
Green Bay not physical. Green Bay gives up the most yards per carry of anybody in the NFL.
No, I don't think Green Bay is physical, but I just think they I don't know, don't want to harp on defensive coordinators because they obviously know what they're doing. But I just feel when they play Green Bay, they forget how to coach. They just there's one thing I would go into the game and leaving Devontae Adams wide open. It's not one of the things.
Yes, cover Devontae Adams. I agree.
Who's the team that double covered him? I respect the hell out of that defensive coordinator.
Oh, it was Baltimore. They were just doubling Devontae Adams in the red zone.
Screw playing around. Yes, I know Alan Lazard's pretty solid, but you take your best corner and put him on Alan Lazard and double Devontae Adams. I think that's what people do. I think and that's the way they do it. And then you live with the results.
Yeah, Make a less than good make a non-elite receiver make a contested catch against a non-perfect throw and just get after Rodgers. Make Rodgers, uncomfortable a little bit. Make him make a throw that's not perfect and make a average receiver bail out. We saw it in the national championship game. None of those receivers could bail out Bryce Young at all.
Bryce Young was dropping dimes.
Yeah, he was throwing good passes, and even the ones that weren't perfect because the man was running for his life again. It just contested catch. You can't make any contested catches. So, yeah, I would do that against Green Bay. Let everybody but Devontae Adams be. Their run game has evaporated, Green Bay. So, I feel like A.J. Dillon always falls for it, though, for 2 extra yards. He does, especially late in the game. But, yeah, the Niners are a team the Packers do not want to see. They want to play the Cardinals. They don't want to play the Cowboys either, I don't think. I wouldn't want to play the Cowboys if I was Green Bay.
Yeah, I don't think that back end, their back end. Well, they do get Jair back. I think they're getting Jair back. And they're actually getting healthy at the right time.
They are.
As they always, they're so lucky. There's not a luckier team in the NFL. I know you're a Vikings fan, so no offense, but I take it with like half a grain of salt. But I've actually watched the last couple of years, and they're extremely lucky. They get everything their way,
and they get every call on top of it, which makes it even harder to beat them. It's hard to beat a team that gets every bounce, every break, and every call. I mean, we saw. I mean, what was it? The Christmas Day game against Cleveland. Oh yeah, Baker threw 4 picks. Yeah, the DB literally grabbed the receiver running a slant and pulled himself in front of the receiver using his jersey to make the interception. Like what?
That's a.
There's 6 flags. And the funny thing is, if you do that against Green Bay, they'll 8 flags flying in if you touch.
Yeah, they got mad. So it was a topic for a week when Kevin King did it against Brady. Remember last year?
Yeah, they actually got a penalty called against them. Tough tits. Yeah. God forbid.
They were so mad.
It's ridiculous.
It is very
and then
ridiculous.
so the NFC is that Cowboys-Niners game is a bad setup for the Packers. They want the Cardinals to beat the Rams. Obviously, would like the Eagles to beat the Buccaneers. Buccaneers, not as scary, like you said. Good matchup though. Again, if they have to play.
I think Tampa versus Dallas would be pretty good. That week 1 rematch.
I agree. Games in Tampa again too. If you get that matchup, Tampa, the only team that I think can beat Tampa is Green Bay. Honestly, I think it's setting up for another rematch.
I don't think Brady lets Rodgers beat him. I think he likes to own him.
He'll try. I just don't know if he has the guy. It'll be a lot of feeding Mike Evans. Then
Antonio Brown really losing it. I know they don't want to deal with that, but that kind of does hurt this team.
Oh, it hurts a ton. But Antonio Brown's a friggin' psycho. Is a lunatic. I'm telling you. Good God, the shit that came out after. I was almost on Antonio Brown's side until the actual shit came out that he was bitching about playing time, and he refused to go see any of the doctors. Like get on a Zoom call with a doctor to get put on IR to get paid about his ankle injury. He got problems. Yeah. Vontaze Burfict scrambled his brain when he hit him in that playoff game.
You agree that you think that's the case too? My friend said that's the case. They're like that Burfict hit just completely changed his life.
They said that's just the joke. If you look at picture, he took his team photo at Central Michigan with like a grill in his mouth for like his like profile pic, like the standard biopic. Yeah, it had like gold teeth in and stuff. Posting, and one of the Steelers said, I forget, was when Antonio Brown was young, and I think this was when it started coming out at the end of Pittsburgh when he sat out that game. He was like, well, we were on that team, and they said, whatever you do not pay this man. Do not pay Antonio Brown. It is going to expose what he is. Because apparently he was only a hard worker and a grinder to get that paycheck. And once he got that payday, his true color. There are Pittsburgh guys that have said they've known the true Antonio Brown the whole time, and he's that guy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Not surprised. Because it's as soon as he got the money, that's when he changed.
Yes, as soon as he got that max receiver deal, totally went off the deep end, became his crazy diva. I did love that that podcast he did with Bob Menery, where he's like, who on this team is better than me? Like Mike Evans, bro. Like who's more reliable than me? Mike Evans.
Godwin's
hurt. I think he was.
Yeah,
Godwin
hurt. Yeah.
It's like if you're really my boy, why Gronk not playing on a prove it deal? But I am. It's like because Gronk is like a crazy person, but not really a crazy person. He's just a goofball. You're a legitimate crazy person and could go off the rails at any point in time. I'm not worried about. I'm not worried about Gronk.
No one's worried about Gronk. Yeah, he's gonna mess around, but Gronk's gonna show up. I know Gronk's gonna show up. Yeah.
Yes, and Gronk's not gonna get in trouble off the field. I know Gronk's not gonna get in trouble off the field. You, on the other hand,
yeah.
And he says, well, and it was about getting him it came out. He was like, wasn't getting his numbers, his catches to get his bonuses. Brady made sure Gronk is getting those numbers. He made sure Mike Evans got his numbers to get over 1,000. Brady made sure of that against Carolina. There's no reason for him to do what he did.
Yeah. He absolutely got AB his numbers.
Yes, but AB has to be a crazy person because, we're losing to the Jets and have to throw a fit. But it's going to be on the young guys. I'm with you. I'm excited to see. I think, like I said, I have KC Tampa Bay as a rematch again.
Yeah.
Oof, coming up.
I don't know about that one.
I think KC's in another good spot. KC's
going to hurt my heart. Dang. cutting it deep.
How hurt can your heart be when you've been to the Super Bowl back-to-back seasons and already won one? Okay, calm down over there.
That's true. It's much. I think you much rather like get let down in like the divisional round or the championship round.
Don't talk to
Super
me
Bowl.
about being let down in playoff games, okay? Nobody knows heartbreak like a Minnesota Vikings fan in playoff games.
That's true.
Only the Vikings can lose playoff games in the way we lose playoff games. Oh yeah, what'd you think about the Natty?
I'm so happy for Kirby. Finally got the monkey off his back. Bryce Young's a dude. Absolutely a dude.
Bama's very frightening.
I don't know how I came out of that. I came out of that loving Nick Saban more than I already did.
Everybody
Really?
did. It was the post game press. It was the midfield meeting with Kirby where he was like, "You guys, you whooped our ass in the fourth quarter." He was smiling. He gave him a nice, long handshake. It wasn't a curmudgeon. And then had the nice thing with Will Anderson, and Bryce Young.
I think Nick Saban's hitting that grandpa face for us. He's like tough. But like he has like a sweet side, like your grandpa's like.
He is 70. He's old man.
Yeah. You're like don't mess with Gramps. He's gonna like, but you're also he deep down like your mom says like your grandpa's actually really soft deep down. Like you know what I mean, like that. You know how they tell you that. And I think that's the stage Nick Saban's hidden for us. And it's great. I love it. And
some people said, well, like look, he knows like this is retirement or something. And I did like. Was it? It might have been Cowherd. It might have been Clad. I forget. And they were like, no. Nick Saban knows if this team got to the national championship, y'all are in deep shit. This is like the youngest Bama team he's had in a long time. They were not vets, and he's bringing back 2 Heisman guy. He's gonna have 2 Heisman finalists, one on each side of the ball. Like what?
Will Anderson?
Yeah, Will Anderson probably should have, especially after what he did in that game. Holy shit, he was a problem. For Georgia. So yeah, Bama's going to be a problem. The SEC West is going to be the best division in college football by a mile. It needs to be split up. We need to bust up this conference. It's too good.
I think no, because I think it's fine. I mean, it's never going to get split up, but like I think they go through ebbs and flows. But I said, Georgia, Bama are always going to cancel each other out, and I think after that, it just goes through ebbs and flows.
We say that, but now that we're in,
I think your boy Jimbo needs to be in this conversation. I watched the second half of him on that.
It was great.
Show. It was pretty good.
It was great for football people.
It's great for football people because he really broke it down, and I like to see what he has to say and different things like that. And it's so what I like to see is like they know. I know they recruit these guys, but they know every dude on the field just because they all recruit each other. And like James Cooley, and I don't know when we hired James Cooley as a tight end coach. But he was like, yeah, that's so and so out of IMG.
Well, they had the cheat sheet there.
But Cooley wasn't even looking at it. He was like texting. Cooley, like he knew from who so and so was from like. He's like, yeah, he's a good guy. He's a player. He's good.
It was good. It was good publicity for us. Jimbo was kind of acting like he didn't know who some guys were every once in a while, and then they'd bring up where he was from. He's like, oh yeah. It was like, Jimbo, don't act like you didn't recruit like every single person on the field right here. You know exactly where all these people are from.
Yeah.
Now he could be, sometimes you move in and out with the cycles. He's on to 2023, 2024 guys. After the but I think.
What do you think they chose Jimbo because he's the only one who he's the only one who's beat one of those teams.
Well, he beat. There was 2 losses and one of them was Bama, and the only team that beat Bama was us. So I assume that's why they picked him. And people were throwing a hissy fit, obviously, but it was really Jimbo just talks too fast for normal people to catch what he says. I did love
and he has a twang, and it's the fast and the twang, and I was like, I can understand what he's saying.
Well, someone said, Jimbo, Kimfolk, you wonder why he's getting all these recruits. You talk about the money, blah, blah, blah. You get him in a room with a Southern mama. I'll tell you what now. He goes like that. I'll tell you what now every time. Like, I'll tell you what now. We're real impressed with that guy right there. He's like, he sounds like every country boy you've ever met in the South, so I can imagine why you liked it. I even liked it.
And isn't he from? Where's he from? Virginia or something?
I don't know. He's from the South though. But
is he from the South?
Not as southern as you think, but the South is wider. He's definitely a backcountry boy. I'll just tell you that.
Yeah.
I did like the exposure, the coaching. I was very happy that Terry Price was not an animated. I thought Terry Price would be a way more animated personality, and he was not really talking.
He is.
I don't
think that was his scene
on the field. and he really wasn't there. So I'm like, oh, this is a guy, because we said, oh, he may be just like a positional coach. He maybe not be like that D coordinator type. Like, my man just loves living in the trenches, coaching up those D linemen. I was like, yeah, I don't need him leaving. I keep bringing in we keep bringing on those boys for him. He's definitely gonna make them right.
The other D tackle coach was talking a bit. It's good to see him talk, and I guess what's his name wasn't there yet.
No, D coordinator from
what's his
Ole Miss.
The guy who's coaching Maryland. What's his name? It's not Elliott. Durkin. Is it Durkin?
DJ Durkin. Yeah, DJ Durkin.
DJ Durkin. Yeah.
He's co-defensive coordinator apparently.
Who's the other one? Tyler?
The linebackers coach.
Okay, that's why. Okay.
That's why they kept interviewing him.
I was like, they featured him a lot, and I was like, he must be the guy now until the next guy, but he's okay.
Yeah, they're gonna co-defensive coordinate. So I bet you DJ Durkin's calling plays. In some.
Well, yeah, but DJ Durkin doesn't have the coaching position, which is the nicest part.
Yes. That's fair. That's what you like. Elko didn't coach a position, did he?
Well, no, he didn't. But like that's like the difference between like usually when you're or whatever. Like someone coaches. Yeah, but like if you're like co and you don't have the coaching position, it's like I have half the responsibilities. In quotations.
No, that's just more. That's more of my energy can go into this one thing getting right, and it's getting the defense right. Because we gonna get the offense right. We're gonna figure that one out. Don't worry about that. Yeah. I trust the Jimbo. I loved how amazing Jimbo coaches are amazing because their recall. Like Jimbo called up looking at a play, like, that's the exact same play we ran at him on our first third down in the goal line against Bama. We had that exact same matchup, and of course we missed it. But it was like shit like that. They could see the combination. It's like, it's like Georgia watched the film on us. Georgia's running the exact same play we ran on this exact same look.
What was it? Was the wheel route. It was like, or the corner route or something.
It was the China. It was China smash. I thought.
He's China smash. He was like, yeah. He's like, we got them on that. Yeah, they were watching that. And
he's like,
that's our Tampa, not Tampa, but he's named it something started to tease like that's ours right there, and he ran it as same concept or whatever.
I like the one where they had like bunch on the left side, and they ran like the corner, they ran the comeback on the solo side, and he was like, did they pull the guard? He's like, we ran something pretty simple. We ran that on third down against them too, like 3rd and 15 we picked up, and he's like, did they pull the guard too? He's like, oh, they pulled the other guard, they pulled the opposite guard, but they did the exact same thing we did. It sounded like Georgia watched a lot of the A&M film, and it kind of showed in the second half, but your guy Bob kind of lost that game for Bama, if anything.
He lost all his weapons, man.
My man called Joel Klatt went in on his ass. He got on Bob's ass. He's like, his play calling was so bad. He's like, you don't have weapons. Design, get creative, start running motion to get the ball to your reliable receivers. Get the ball to Slade Bolden, do anything. He was generic, white bread. He's like, the only reason they scored a touchdown is because the Alabama tight end bench pressed the corner into the dirt and turned around, and Bryce Young found him. It was the only touchdown they scored. So he was getting in on Bob's ass, which is good. You should want Bob to leave Alabama. Your offense. You know what? Stay, Bob. You should stay, Bob.
Cliff's gonna. I mean, not Cliff. Nick could get him somebody anyway. He'll get him next guy.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Outside of Lane Kiffin, he's never. You could correct me if I'm wrong, but he's never got that this guy who's just like an offensive genius.
I thought Sark was an offensive genius.
Oh, he had Sark. My bad. Okay, I said correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, Sark's not an offensive genius, as we saw, but
we're not getting into that.
My man couldn't score points in the Big 12.
I enjoyed the national championship game. It was good. Glad Kirby got one. Happy for Stetson Bennett. I'm glad that story's over with, and I'm glad he's ugly crying's over with.
He was hammered the next day too on Good Morning America.
Yeah, oh my gosh, he was hammered. Didn't get any sleep. You got it, bro. You got it. Someone's got to actually be like, yo, you okay? Like slap him, throw some water in his face, get him some coffee going. Come on. You just can't just throw him on a Good Morning America like that.
Hey, man, when you're a walk-on and you beat the odds and then you beat even more odds because Nick Saban doesn't lose to walk-on quarterbacks, good on you. That game, he looked like he lost them the national championship. Let's be honest.
Oh, my gosh. I was like, this dude, he is like, I don't like to blame it on one player, but he is solely the problem right now.
he was not great. He was very uncomfortable. And then the fumble, which was really, really unlucky, the fumble on top of it.
Oh, that dude, and not even that guy was really trying to get the ball. It just happened to work out in his favor.
Exactly. That was why I'm like, college needs to go to 2 feet inbounds, because that man was not trying. Like, yes, he happened to be inbounds by an inch, but he picks his foot up and catches the ball like as he's out of bounds, like casually, and like steps out of bounds. I was like, that's so hard to call possession inbounds with the ball on that.
He actually had a fumble. I thought he actually threw the ball.
Well, if you watch the Jimbo cast, as you saw, the ball came out of the back of his hands backward. It came out of the top of his hands when he was getting hit. It rolled off the back end of his hand. So it went forward, but it rolled off the back of his hand. So it was like one of those, you get hit, and then the momentum and the tip of the ball flips it, and it spins.
What did they get SEC refs?
No, they had ACC refs.
I would have been like, why can't we get our SEC refs? They know how we play.
Because we don't. Because there would have been a couple. The ACC refs did a really good job after that nonsense. What is it? Threatening signals or whatever they called on the first drive against Bama. The delay of game, which Jimbo went off on again. He's like, they got to stop calling this shit, because the linebacker was like Xing. He wasn't even clapping. He like was throwing up X trying to call coverage checks. The middle linebacker, they're like, disconcerting signals, delay a game. It's like, what? How am I supposed to signal my coverage?
Yeah, that's.
But they let them play. They were mugging each other, which I liked. I mean, let them play. Fuck it.
Actually, yeah, I should. Yeah, I feel like in a national championship game, you shouldn't be like calling tic-tac fouls. Like, you should like just refs should just be there when things go wrong. Like, you know. Like when you kids, like parents, and like letting their kids play in the playpen. Like, I'm just here just in case something goes wrong. But if not, go have fun.
You tackle the receiver, we go call PI. You take out the quarterback, we'll call a roughing the passer. You choke, somebody whoops your ass on a pass rush, and you grab his ass down. We're gonna hold. It's called a hold. Yeah. It's simple. We'll call false starts. False starts, offsides. Those are the easy ones. Nobody can really complain about those. This is pretty hard. We'll let them go.
We gotta call those.
I do hate that. I do hate how different college. Hands to the face, really a 15-yard penalty when it's 5 in the NFL. I hate that shit. It's dumb. Oh yeah, hands to the face, personal foul. We need the PI rule fixed.
I've agreed with your. Okay, there's got to be a reasoning why. Because I guess you would just hold. The holding an automatic first down. Why is that an automatic first down?
I hate it on defense. It should not be an automatic first down. It should be a 5-yard penalty. Replay the down. It's so stupid. Now, some of them you can argue you hold him and it caused the route, like it caused it to be an incomplete pass, like on a slant and a break, but you're not running a 15-yard slant. You run a 5-yard slant. Okay, it's probably going to be a first down. Just call more pass interference. If you want to call more pass interference calls and not just call the hold and say, okay, he interfered with the pass, I'm fine with that. That's a first down. That's a spot foul.
I feel like holdings are like 3rd and 5. Like
how about 3rd and 12? And you call
3rd and 12
illegal illegal contact, some bullshit.
Those are absolutely backbreakers. Obviously, the pass interference, most of the time people don't really like. Yeah, I don't like pass interference. Whatever, I understand. Like, it's first down. But a hold, and like it's usually like the first 5 steps in his route. You call a hold, and you're like, come on.
My favorite's the illegal contact, where it just says, "Oh no, we're making sure this team picks up the first down here." Oh yeah, illegal contact prior 5 yards down, past the 5-yard line. Call a hold then. Come on, at least make me feel a little bit better. And it's so inconsistent too on who they call it for and who they call it against. That's the real problem I have with them.
Man. All right, what else you got?
Trying to think. I don't have any more football stuff really.
So
we have all the head coaches.
You want Leftwich or
you know who Bieniemy's the Vegas favorite right now for Minnesota. I do not. I'm on you. He's had 2 coaching cycle interviews, and no, people, he didn't get not hired. He wasn't not hired because of racism. He was not hired because he doesn't call plays and isn't impressing anybody.
He calls plays this year.
Does he call plays this year?
I'm not insider. Don't get me bad. But it looks like when I watched, it looks like he was calling plays. At least he was sending the plays in. At least.
Even worse. Even worse. Like, this is the worst year. This is the worst the Kansas City's offense looked in 3 years with Mahomes. So even worse.
I don't know. I think he's changed it around. But I want to say. It looks like he has more responsibility, and at least he's sending plays in, or he's rechecking with him. But they kind of they're kind of ready for him to get a head coaching job because they got another guy they want to groom.
And you were on this again. You were like, yeah, Bieniemy. You've been on this the last 2 seasons, like why he's not getting hired as a head coach. You know what they're looking for, and he wasn't giving them what they were looking for, and then him getting more responsibilities this year shows exactly what teams were asking, and he's
gonna get a head coaching job.
Yeah,
I just don't want him to go to Denver because he's gonna get it right in Denver. He will. He's not gonna have to worry about the defense because he's gonna hire a defense coordinator. And he's gonna figure out the offense.
There should never. I told you it's dead. You can't hire a defensive head coach anymore. Defensive head coaching is dead. You got to hire a young stud offensive guy and then get a good defensive coordinator that's an old guy because it's hard to win because the offensive guy leaves and that's who you need the most consistency with is offensive guys.
Like defensive guy, like you can see like Raheem Morris just picked up Staley stuff like and their defense is fine. Like they're not great. They're not horrible, but they're fine. He like changed a little bit here and there, and then like plug and play.
What defensive guys are good for though is if you need like a total culture rebuild or a culture shock to try and tighten ship. So like Jacksonville, they're gonna hire an offensive guy for Trevor, but they could probably use a defensive guy to fix the culture.
Yeah,
like Brian Flores in Jacksonville would be it.
Yeah,
to fix, but he ain't going anywhere.
It'd be, you know what? It'd be cool if Brian Flores finally got Deshaun Watson by them firing Coley and he come to Texans head coach and he just haunts the Dolphins twice a year.
They're not in the same division. Dolphins are in the East.
Not saying division, my bad. But that would be cool if you got
that is a rumor that they might hire him to try and get Watson to stay. But Davis Mills, man, show me something.
It's not bad. Not bad. I mean, also, I don't think they should fire Coley. I didn't want to hire, but I think
it would be a strictly keep Deshaun move. But you know, Davis Mills.
Coley was pretty solid. Was okay for what he did.
They said nice guy, not a great coach, is what the Texans people said. Which is
it sounded like they needed a culture change, and he was the right person for that.
Yeah, the ownership, GM, and Bob left a dumpster fire. So yeah, that's fair. Oh God, Davis Mills can play, but Kellen Mond was taking 2 picks before him, but we can't play him, so I'm not going to get into that. I think I want Harbaugh left. My list is Harbaugh, Leftwich.
Harbaugh actually coming? Do you think he's like, hey, I've done what I could do at Michigan? He went to national.
We won the Big Ten. We beat Ohio State. We cannot recruit on the level that everybody else can recruit at now. And I tried to warn everybody. I tried to warn people, and they're like, "Oh, Peter, you're just being a curmudgeon." I'm like, no. I have no problem. My school can play this game. My school can play this game. They said we have the best NIL system of anybody by miles.
Yeah, I think it's like that CC Curation deal. Outlanders and like all
what they
stuff.
said is we identified the boosters formed LLCs, we got the recruits we wanted identified, and the recruits are signing contracts that if you leave A&M, you do not get that money. That money comes back to us if you transfer. That simple. So they have perfect deals set up and everyone's crying about it. It's like, no, we followed the rules. We just followed them a lot better than you. Like Texas's rule is flat out broke the rule, at least in the state of Texas, where you can't just guarantee anybody a payment when you come in. Just can't do it. But yeah, we're top dogs on that, which I don't have a problem with. Well, I can play this game, but I don't love it. Don't love it. Can play this game.
Makes recruiting really easy, I bet.
Oh no, we should have a top 5 class every year now. Shouldn't be a problem.
I mean, it's not like the facilities are bad.
Oh, no, they're great facilities. We were doing fine without it. And everyone said, well, you're going to get a bunch of players that are just in it for the money. I was like, I don't give a shit. You know how you win in college football? Having better talent. Ask Nick Saban. He has better talent than everybody. And he knows how to coach. Yes, but I also trust Jimbo to coach as well. Our staff is fine. We're not just paying people with a bunch of dumpster fires. I trust our staff for now. So
no, you're right. It'll be fun to see. Like, but you know how I am. I'm all in.
You gotta prove it to them.
But I need you to prove it.
It does suck. Like I said, you're in the same division as Bama is the only problem. So it's Bama. We broke the record for the best recruiting class ever. Bama set it the year before in 2021. So it could be slug fights. And the only thing that hurts you is you don't get to the conference championship game, which gets teams in losing. Like Georgia lost the conference championship game. It got them in. If you played Alabama every year in the conference championship game, the loser and winner doesn't automatically get eliminated. But we should be fine if they expand the playoff. If they go to 12 teams, 8 teams, we should be fine, no matter what that is. I'm not worried.
But if I would like I like to say,
You Comfort
you're
King.
scared, go to church.
Oh,
Yeah.
Comfort King, you best
If you
not
gotta,
miss.
yeah, exactly. So I'm cool with having to go through Bama, and there's no if you go through Bama. My thing is like, hey, say you beat Bama,
if you
go to
beat-
the championship game, you lose, like no one's really question. Like everyone's like, oh,
if
this
you
team's so good.
if you come out of the West undefeated and then lose the SEC championship game, there's like a 90% chance you're still probably getting into the playoff, regardless with a one-loss team. If you lose to anybody out of like a Georgia, Florida, Kentucky, who even whoever's out of the East with a one-loss East team. It's one of those things. I definitely agree. But the West is frightening. Lane Kiffin, Jimbo Fisher, Brian Kelly, Nick Saban, Mike Leach's crazy ass every now and then. Probably Brent Venables coming in too.
I mean, that dude at Auburn's pretty good too. Like if he's gonna get things going the right way.
Okay, and then what's his face at Arkansas? And they turned Arkansas around.
Sam Pittman.
Yeah, Sam Pittman in Arkansas turned them around. I saw they had an early top 25, and 3 of the top 10 are in the SEC. Us, Arkansas, and Alabama all in the top 10 pre-season, like way too early top 25 for next year.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be tough sledding, but
no,
gotta show up every week.
That's true. That's fair.
But that's what you play the game for, right?
No, but it is nice when you could be Ohio State and cruise, Oklahoma cruise, Clemson cruise.
Don't get me wrong, cruise, but like your losses mean that much. They don't hurt as much. I think.
No,
if
this is fair.
You do slip up, like hey.
The problem is it's just easier when you can have a bad game in the Big 12 against a bad team, and you can probably win that game because you're not playing every week. If you slip up against a bad team in the SEC, you're probably in trouble because you're probably beat up from the week before. It's just the gauntlet, like we said. It's always the gauntlet. The gauntlet is what makes it hard.
That's true.
Oklahoma is also not losing one game when they come to the SEC. Cool.
That's true, but
they were like
Gauntlet also helps you recruit.
Absolutely. There is double edge, but like I love the Texas fans. They were posting, "Look, we beat Georgia in the Sugar Bowl." I was like, "Okay, first of all, let's just ignore that game." But say you did, it's like, and then somebody responded, "Cool. Now you got to go to Tuscaloosa next weekend." Oh, and guess what? After that, you're hosting Mike Leach's crazy ass. Yeah. Oh, and then you got to go to Death Valley the weekend after that. Oh, but then we get to play a cupcake. Cool, you get to play a cupcake there. That's in November. Cool. You just went on the cool. Yeah, fun. Good luck with that.
You don't need a cupcake after that. Yeah. You'll need a cupcake. You'll be asked. You'll be ready for Prairie View A&M to come through. Yeah, you'll be like, thank God.
Please, God. Oh wait, Texas, you do have a cupcake. It's called Kansas, and you refuse to beat them anyway. So don't worry about that. So Harbaugh, Leftwich. I'm undecided between Dable and Moore. Kellen Moore.
Anything but Dable. My dad thinks Kellen Moore is going to be a good head coach.
Kellen Moore really wants to be the Vikings head coach, apparently. That's the reports from the Dallas media. He wants the Vikings job. So that must mean he likes Kirk Cousins, which...
Maybe.
I don't know. Dallas's offense... I don't know.
He wants to play in the Dome, too. I don't know. A couple other things.
He played... That's fair. I mean, it's not like the weather's... But he's from Boise. That's true. He could have grown up a Vikings fan. He's from Boise. He went to Boise State.
He could have been a Vikings fan.
He went to Boise State. Could be one of those things. So I'll see. We need a new GM first, but I'm excited.
I wonder what factors, like how many factors, because like these guys aren't like, I'm sad about this job. Like they take whatever head coaching job, because I'm pretty sure they're grateful. But I wonder what really factors into like what they want a job more than the other. I'd love to.
Yeah. Look.
To hear what they have to say. Like, hey, like these XYZ jobs. I was interviewed for all these, but I really wanted this job because this is the situation I was in at the time or whatever.
I can give you number one probably is stability with the ownership stability. Like have the owners have a track record of giving you, because you want confidence that you're going to have time to do what you need to do. That's a big one, I'm sure. You don't want. I mean, Jesus Christ, who in the hell wants to go work for the Giants? They fired their last 3 coaches after 2 years. Who wants that job? I don't want that job. I ain't trying to move my family like that. So owners like stability with that is big. I'm sure roster as it currently stands is big. Cap money, they said, is big also. If you can,
quarterback is probably one too. Cap money, go get a quarterback. Yes, one or the other. I guess it goes hand in hand.
Whoever you're tying let's be honest. In today's NFL, your legacy is tied to your quarterback. Like, what are you going to do with your quarterback? and sometimes it sinks, sometimes you swim. Doug Peterson, another name out there.
Yeah, it is interesting. I don't know. Like, I mean, obviously, he won a Super Bowl, so he's got some pedigree. He's probably gonna go to the Jaguars, and it's probably gonna be a bad situation.
I think that's a good fit for him, actually.
You really think so?
Well, yes. Yes, I think that's a winner that can build he'll build a good culture. Jacksonville needs stability. He's very stable. The Philly situation kind of got weird with drafting Jalen Hurts and Carson Wentz. It got weird. Nobody's drafting anybody to replace Trevor Lawrence. Okay, he's getting his full rookie contract, no questions asked.
That's true.
And the defense is good. The Jacksonville defense isn't bad. You can win with that defense.
That's true.
So
good point.
No, I think it's an interesting job. Denver.
I'm excited to see. Anybody else getting fired randomly?
Culley maybe. No, I don't think anybody in the playoffs.
Is Terrell staying?
It sounds like it. Russell sounds like he's staying.
No, they need to do something. They're in that they
went 7-10 when Russell.
They could patch it.
Russell came back too early. He wasn't healthy. When Russell got healthy towards the end of the year, they were good. They were fine. They were better than what they had been. They had a good finish to the season.
So do you think they have I guess Snyder said hey, this division's ridiculous, and this is the first year we haven't won 10 games, so give us a break.
Yeah, fair. True.
Yeah, that's quite fair, but
well, you're in
don't have your quarterback in offseason talking about he wants to go to New York or New Orleans.
Tell him to go spend Christmas in New York. Go hang out in the offseason or whatever. Everybody wants to play with Sean Payton until they actually got to play with Sean Payton. He has not been a very good coach without Alvin Kamara, and that's a fact. So everyone thinks the grass is greener. That last place schedule next year, it's going to help. Playing a fourth place schedule, you don't have a draft.
It always helps. People always forget about that because didn't the Patriots play a weak schedule this year too, right?
The Patriots played a
third place.
They played a second or a third place schedule, so probably a third place. Yeah, that's what makes the Patriots dynasty more impressive, right? They were playing a first place schedule every year, and they were still dominating.
They were dominating people. Yeah, that the people forget because Dallas played Dallas was pretty bad last year, right?
Dallas finished in second. I think.
No, they got Parsons.
Yeah, they finished in second. The Giants and the Eagles were still worse than them.
Oh, but they had what? Oh, I guess they finished second. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, they played a second place schedule, so.
And still had a top 12 pick. It's wild.
Well, yeah, they picked 10, I think, and then they traded, or they picked a 10. So yeah, exactly. That's why I was kind of pissed Minnesota beat Chicago last game of the season. We went from playing a third place schedule to now playing a second place schedule, and we would have went from picking at 8 to picking at 12. Maybe 9. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the tiebreaker.
I'm gonna fuck you guys on the way out.
And he fucked Justin Jefferson because he's a real fucking asshole. So.
That is.
Oh well.
Everyone else is doing their most. I just saw that the Pittsburgh's trying to see if they can get Watt's stat
it was definitely a aborted snap when they scored at that. That was not a sack. But Michael Strahan's probably shouldn't have been a sack either. The one Brett Favre gave him.
Yeah. Wait. So is the record tied now?
Yeah, it's tied.
Oh, the sack would have put him ahead.
Vegas sure as shit ain't. Vegas made a shit ton on that being tied because everyone was betting him to break the sack record. So Vegas is like, nah, aborted snap. Nope, we're not paying. No winner. Because that's Vegas. They be like that sometimes. All right, you got anything else?
I meant to ask you. I am thinking, gosh, it's a different time. It's such a bad time for me. I think it'd be cool to go to Vegas for March Madness, that first weekend. But that's absolutely when baseball season starts.
That you're shit out of luck until you're a better. Are we even gonna have baseball?
If we don't have baseball, then let's do it.
Yeah, it depends what the how fun it is, how much fun we're allowed to have in Vegas. Who knows what the world's gonna look like in March?
It's not to bet on the basketball games. That's all.
Yeah, I'm not going to a place where I gotta walk into a casino and sit next to plexiglass dealers.
That's a you problem. I just want to bet and hang out.
You can bet. It's not how much that's the point. How much hanging out can we do? Well, I think Vegas is kind of.
I think Vegas is pretty. It's pretty open. I think most of the. I don't ever think we're gonna go back to what it was.
We better not. Everyone just go get Omicron. You gonna be fine. So yeah, everybody be fine. Get it over with. get out there. Let's get back to having the real world. I would love to do it because then we get Scott. I could do a Backyards Bookies live with Scott in Vegas betting on the turn dance.
I'll look into it and see how like doable it is, and I'll report back.
All right, good.
All right,
That's
good.
that's the mission for the weekend.
All right, sounds good.
That'll do it for us.